In this video, we are going to be studying combined inequalities, and our focus is learning how to represent it on a number line, or if we see it on a number line, how to represent it with an inequality. That's to write out the inequality mathematically. Okay, represent the inequality shown on the number line. Okay, so we can see that this is shaded, that means or equal to. An open space means it's this value is not included, so it's just less than or greater than. But this means less than or equal to, less than or greater, less than or equal to, or greater than or equal to. That is what that means this value is included. Now, for me to do this, I like to write it in two ways. So this goes this way. This is all shaded and pointing this way, right? And it starts from -3. And then this is all open and pointed this way, and it starts from 2. So I write out the two and then combine them. You have to write the answer in a combined inequality form. Okay, so here we have that x, then do you see this sign? That's the sign we use. X is greater than or equal to -3. For here, x is, do you see this sign? Less than. We don't have or equal to because it's open. Good. So now, for us to combine this, what we have to do is we start from the bigger value. So we have x less than 2. Do you see this same less than? That is what we put here. And then include this value. And actually, when you look at it, you see that the smaller side is pointing towards -3, right? The smaller side is pointing towards -3. So you write the bigger side, that same direction of the sign, because in inequalities, combined inequalities like this, the signs have to face same way. If it's greater than, then let it be greater than, and it's usually less than, right? Good. Easy. So let's do another one. Practice makes perfect. Or perfect practice makes perfect performance, whichever way. So let us do another one. Here we can see this is an inequality shown on a number line. Every other number mustn't be included. So same way I do it, this is open and it's starting from -2, pointing towards this way, right? This is usually blocked off, right? Here it's darker to show that this is the line. Then we have 4 closed up and pointing towards this way. Now we start with x. Do you see the direction of the arrow? That's the direction. It's open, so not equal to -2. We start with x. Do you see the direction of the arrow? That's still the direction. Since it's closed up, it's all equal to, and then we have 4. Easy enough, right? Good. Now to combine them, remember we start with the bigger value. Like here we have the bigger value. So we have x less than or equal to 4. And then that same sign, we put it for this. It doesn't include or equal to, and then we put in this other value. You cross-check, you see the smaller side is pointing towards -2. Do you see that? Very easy, right? Good. Okay, we keep practicing. Then when we look at this, we can see this is still showing that this lined place is the included value. So we have to represent this in combined inequalities. So we have an open circle starting from -3 pointing towards this way. We have the closed circle. Just forget about this. All this just means is that this is the place we are interested in, pointing towards this way. If it were to be different, then it should have been shown this way, right? Good. So never you confuse the diagram. Okay. So we start with x, the direction of the arrow, so it's open. We start with x, the direction of the arrow is closed, right? So we combine. So in combining, we start with the bigger value, x less than or equal to 2, and then that same less than, it doesn't include or equal to, we have our -3. Smaller side. Good. So we go over to the next one. If x minus 3 is greater than or equal to 4, and x plus 1 is less than or less than 5, which of these diagrams represents the solution set? So we are going to solve the inequalities, the two inequalities given to us. We have x minus 3 greater than or equal to 4. When we solve that, all we have to do is to leave x here. 4 is already here. Minus 5 crosses over to be a plus 5. We are going to have that x is greater than or equal to 11. Then on the other hand, we have x plus 1 less than 5. We have x here, we have the less than, we have 5 already here. Plus 1 goes over to be a minus 1. We have that x less than 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, so we can as well draw on our own so we can see what am I even doing? See, where did I get this from? X minus 3, sorry. X minus 3, I wonder why I wrote 5. So, if it's minus 3, so plus 3 on this side, 4 plus 3, that is 7. Sorry about that. So, x greater than or equal to 7. So, we can see 4 and 7, right? Good. So, for here, we can as well have it as this, closed from 7, right? On this, we are going to have it open because it's not or equal to, and it's on 4, the arrow is going to point this way. So what we are looking for is where we have on 4, it's an open circle pointing this way. On 7 is a closed circle pointing this way. So when we look at it, we can see 4 is an open circle pointing this way. 7 is a closed circle pointing this way. So D is the correct answer. Okay, here we've been asked to represent this inequality on a number line. Very easy. We have our number line. We indicate minus 5. We indicate a plus 5, right? Good. And then you can as well fill it up or you can leave it like this. We are going to raise, I love to call it my searchlights. Whew. This is going to be open because between negative 5 and x it's open. Then this is going to be closed because between x and 5 it's closed. Then for the direction. To get the direction correct, all you have to do is to write the inequality in such a way that it starts with the unknown x, for example. So for this, we start with, here is already a known factor that it is x, right? X is less than or equal to 5, so it's going to face that way the arrow faces. But for this, all we have to do is to mirror it to get the mirror image. Because by so doing, we are going to get the direction of the arrow easy. So the bigger side was facing x, the smaller side was facing negative 5. So we can see that its direction is this way, right? You can see that. So that means they are meeting this way. Very, very easy, right? So make sure you do your practice and a combined inequality is all done.